Hello friends, welcome to another session of video tutorial on robot framework. If you are an existing subscriber, thanks for all the support. If you are a new visitor or a regular visitor to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. To subscribe to this channel, click on subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you get the updates. In the last session, we have looked at different types of variables. In this session, we are going to take a look at if-else statement. Before we start looking at if-else statement, I just wanted to show you, if you go to the internet herokuapp.com, and there is a link called A/B testing. So if you click on A/B testing, sometimes you get this heading as A/B test control, and sometimes you get it as A/B test variation 1, but the URL is same. So you need to click on A/B test. Sometimes you get this version and sometimes you get this version. So we have to cater for both. So I'm still going to use the same URL, that is the internet herokuapp.com, and then I'm going to click on A/B testing. Okay, so this is a link for this particular example. So we are going to make use of if-else there. So even if this particular heading is A/B test control or this, then our test case is a pass. Anything else is a fail. Okay, so let us see how to do it. So let us go back to PyCharm. I'm going to create a new robot file here. I'm going to call it as if-else.robot. As usual, I'm going to copy certain settings and variables from here. So let me copy settings and also the test case here. Okay, so instead of login, so we are going to click on A/B testing. So here I'm going to call called A/B testing variation, and inside this I'm going to create a new keyword here. Called A/B testing variation. Okay, under this I am going to go to this URL. I'm going to create a variable here. This is a scalar variable. And I'm going to create another scalar variable with the x path on it. Let me get x path of this. Okay, so this is my XPath. Okay, as usual, I'm going to copy open browser. Let me close this. Under A/B testing, first thing is I'm going to open the browser, and since we have URL now as a scalar variable, I'm going to make use of that. $URL, and I'm going to make use of Chrome again. Okay, after opening the browser, and the link which we are going to click on is A/B testing. Okay, after clicking on A/B testing, so I need to look for this particular text. So let me inspect this, and this is again H3. Make sure there is only one H3. Okay, so there is only one H3 here. Get text is another built-in keyword, and for this I'm going to directly pass the XPath for the heading to get this text. And after getting this text, I need to store it somewhere. So for that, I'm going to create a variable here. Okay, let me run this to see if it works. Okay, so now you can see it has clicked on this A/B test. Okay, so far our test case is working as expected, and let us see what is the text we got. Let's go into the log file. And the text which we got is A/B test variation 1. Okay, so now we are storing whatever the value we got from H3 into this H3 text. So after storing this, we need to check what is the text, and based on that we need to decide. This text comes in two variations. One is A/B test control. The other one is A/B test variation 1. Here I'm going to make use of a run keyword if built-in keyword, which is run keyword if followed by two spaces. So what are we checking here? We are checking the text which is contained in H3 text. Equals to, that is double equals to the first variant is A/B test control If this is true, then it has to run a keyword. 2. the keyword which I'm going to run is contains okay, so this is the keyword which I'm going to run if this is true. However, we don't have this keyword, so I need to create a keyword. So here I'm trying to create another keyword which is equal to this one, contains AB test control. So simply what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to log saying that text contains AB test control. Okay, so if this is true, then it is going to run this particular keyword which is created here. What about the other variation? The other variation is if this is false, okay, then I'm going to create another if statement here which is dot 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 and followed by two spaces again, else if again looking for the second variation which is the second variation is AB test variation 1. Okay, so if this is true, then run another keyword. So this time contains AB test variation 1. Okay, if this is true, then it will run this keyword. If h3 text contains this AB test variation 1, then it will run this particular keyword. Okay, so again I have to create another keyword here and simply I'm going to log again. Log is another keyword which is built in, which logs into the log file, this particular text. Okay, so text contains AB test variation 1. If it doesn't contain this and if it doesn't contain this, then again dot 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 two space else didn't contain any expected value. So this is again a keyword. So I'm going to create another keyword here. Okay, log. In this case, I'm going to say error. Okay, so this is how we can make use of if, else if, and else. Okay, so let us run this. Right click, external tools, run robot test. Okay, this time it contains AB test control. Since I'm not closing the browser here, so let me also close the browser. This is another keyword. So let me rerun this. Okay, this time it got AB test variation 1. So let us go and look at the log file now. Okay, I was expecting it to close the browser, but it didn't. Okay, so this is one of the usual problems which you're going to get. Okay, so whenever you compare something, so always make sure that you put that in the quotes, even the variables which get stored, you put them in quotes, either single quote or double quotes. Okay, let me rerun this. Okay, let me close this browser first. Okay, again it didn't close. Okay, it is still not closing the browser. Let us see why. Here it looks like, okay, contains AB expected 0 arguments, got 5. So, okay. So this is another classic mistake which the beginners will do, especially if you're coming from Java. So earlier I had small else if. Okay, so that is why it was saying, the keyword contains AB test control. So that is this control expected 0 arguments. So because there is no argument, but got 5. How is it 5? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it was not taking else if here because it was in the lower case. Okay, so you have to bear that in mind. Control yes, save it and rerun it. Okay, so now it is closing the browser. So let us go back and check the log file. Paste it. Okay, so this is the keyword. And run keyword. If, okay, because our text contained AB test variation 1. Okay, so what does our H3 text contain? H3 text contains AB test variation 1. So it went to this particular keyword contains AB test variation 1. So all it is doing is logging whatever the text we have written. The text contains AB test variation 1. If I run this multiple times, so sometimes I will get AB test control as well. Okay, so let me try one more time to see if we get the other text. So I ran it again to see whether I'm going to get A/B test this time. So I got that. So let me take a look at the log file now. So this was the initial one, and this is the latest run. Okay, so now it looks like, what is the h3 text? Okay, this time we got AB test control. So it should print it will go and run this particular keyword contains AB test control, and then it should print text contains AB test control. So this is the latest run and this is the earlier run. So we checked for both. Okay, so this is one way of using the if, else if, and else statement. So now the question is, instead of using else if here, since h3 can contain only two values, one is AB test control or /B test variation, instead of creating multiple keywords, can I make use of OR? Yes, you can. So what you need to do is you need to use OR here, and okay, so here what this will do is, if this is true or this is true, then I will run another keyword contains one of the variations. So now I can get rid of this particular statement here. Okay, so because it is going to check for either this or this. So instead of having two different keywords, so I'm going to replace this with this, and then I'm going to remove the other one. Either A or B or A/B test variation 1. Okay, so let us run this, save it. Okay, so let us go and check the log file again. Okay, so here you can see that now the h3 text contains AB test control, and this run keyword if is validating for one of these. So since it contains AB test control, it went to contains one of the variation. As you can see, this is the keyword which is run, and this is the log which we are getting. Okay, text contains either AB test control or AB test variation. So you can make use of or, and whenever we are checking for multiple conditions. That is the end of this session. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, please post it under comment section under the video. I will see you in the next video.